Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Hi.
Hello, my lovely. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations. And OMG, have we got a powerfully awesome conversation to talk to you about today. Strategies to up-level your self-worth. This is something that I have conversations about so many times in different flavors and different aspects with so many different clients and just real life conversations. It's something that I think is such an important piece to always be coming back to, up-leveling your self-worth. You are worthy of your own unconditional love and acceptance. So let's just really feel into that. If you can and it feels okay, I encourage you to place one hand over your heart space, one hand gently over your belly, and take a really deep breath in. Inflate that belly and then sigh it out of your mouth. And another one. Nice deep breath in. And sigh it out. And in your mind's eye, and setting the intention that you're dropping a cord from your tailbone right down into Earth's core. Down into the earth to ground you, to anchor you. This is actually a fundamental piece on self-worth, by the way. Is that you have the right to take up space on this planet where we are. So by dropping that anchor down, we're claiming it and saying, hi, I'm here. So just feel that. And as you do that, allow Mother Earth's loving energy to surge back up that root, that cord into your heart space. Just allow yourself to feel witnessed and seen and loved, acknowledged and accepted, received by Mother Earth. And take another nice deep breath. And in whatever way that's right for you, anchoring yourself to the all that is, the connection of all energy. We are all energy, and we are actually all connected. We just sometimes need to take a wee moment to do that. So envisage and pretend and intend that you're breathing in and out of your heart space. And that by doing this, you're connecting from your heart to the hearts of every other being on this planet, maybe even beyond. And allow that to feel like a big energetic hug. And just taking one more breath. Allowing yourself to feel connected, connected above, connected below, and connected to all beings on this beautiful earth. And come back to exercises like this often. This beautiful way right there. That's tip number 1 on elevating or up-leveling your self-worth. And so now, dear listeners, we encourage you to grab your favorite note-taking device because we would like to get into this conversation and share our strategies and ideas on how to up-level your self-worth.
Crikey. I was actually thinking, as you were saying that, what a beautiful introduction. So thank you for that, because it just feels back to my heart. Self-worth is actually a trigger word, because and this is what I would say. I love the way Moira goes, Okay.
Okay.
Okay, where are we going with Deborah's word? Here we go. We're going in. And I think about that because people say, oh, they've got low self-worth. Or when somebody says to you, oh, it's just your self-worth, it can really put you on that spiral. But if this trigger word self-worth triggered you in any way, there's my favorite saying, if you spot it, you got it. That's it. End of.
Yeah.
Straight in for the throat. If you spot it, you got it. If this word triggers you, then you've got something going on with your self-worth. So
Mhm.
the biggest thing you can remember is like, okay, now I'm liking it. Now I'm
Yep.
liking it.
Yep. I'm vibing with that now.
Now I'm back with Deborah. But if you've spotted it, you've got it. And the reason I say that is because this is your stuff. If you're looking to strategies to up-level your self-worth, but this word has triggered you, just know there's something in here that's really for you.
Mhm.
But go in with an open mind because self-worth can be, I'm feeling 1 out of 10 positivity, or I'm feeling 10 out of 10 positivity. You can always go for 11 out of 10. Well, if 11 is actually where you're going to go, if you're going to go beyond that. But there's always a level that you can up-level your self-worth, no matter how low you're feeling, or no matter how fabulous you're feeling. So I just want to acknowledge that this is a common problem that is out there for people, and this is why we're saying this, is we want to show you how to up level your self-worth. This is not a personal attack on you on any way, but it's just letting you know that this is, no matter where you are, you can always up level. That was my starting off.
I
Moira's
like
like, now I want to put some flower around that. Moira's flowers. Moira's going to flower that one. But yeah, I
Well,
just want to say that.
no, and I like that. And I do get what you mean about it being a trigger word. But what I want to say leading on from that is that I believe there's a misconception on self-worth that all too often people think it's something that they have to earn,
Oh,
and
you're
it's
actually right.
not,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
not something you have to earn. It's something that you have.
yeah.
If you're breathing, actually, I remember listening to a keynote speaker, and I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about this idea of having to work to earn it. You know, I'll have self-worth when I have X amount in the bank, or when I achieve a certain level in my job, or a certain relationship, then I'll have self-worth.
I'm
And
having heart
his
palpitations.
but his point was, he said, are you breathing? Are you breathing? Listeners, are you breathing? That's it. You've got self-worth. You are worthy
Oh,
of this divine flow that we call life. It's not something you have to, graduate from a certain level of learning or experience to sort of say, oh, phew, I made it through,
yeah.
right?
I love that. And we'll see that goes to a Dr. DeMartini saying, no matter what you've done or not done, you're
Yes,
worthy
I
of
love
love.
this one. Hmm.
That just goes, you're right. You're right. Okay, I may have upset somebody, or I may have triggered off the government, or I may I say it with laughter. I may have upset somebody, or I may have done something, or I've done something, quotation, bad in my life, or I cut someone off and didn't let them ahead of me at the traffic, and all of those things. But I want people to remember, no matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love. And if that means putting your hand on your heart and saying that to yourself 10 times until you can start to feel it, instead of just laughing at it, going, that's not me, and doing yourself jump in words. But
Hmm.
the truth is, no matter what, every person out there is
Yep.
worthy of love in their form, not in the form that, whatever it is, but in their form, no matter what you've done or not done. I just think it's a beautiful reminder that
Yeah, absolutely.
we're here to
100%.
play. We're here to play in this playground of life.
Yes. Yeah, and so and having self-worth and being reminded that we are worthy of love, it gives us some freedom.
Mm,
And I like what you just said. It gives us freedom to play full on with
mm,
our quirks and talents and what makes us light up,
absolutely.
right? We are worthy of chasing after our dreams. And it's not about, just as I'm saying that, chasing after our dreams, that's a part of self-worth too. You don't have to explain them to anybody. If it feels right for you, that's your path.
Yeah.
And you are worthy of following that which makes your heart sing.
Yeah.
Right?
Just that's well, I say to people, when you can make decisions in your heart over your head, then the decisions are effortless and they flow, and you don't feel like you're forcing yourself to swim upstream. You don't get the complications you do when you make those decisions in your heart, because it feels right. And you don't question your heart. But when we make them in our head, that's it. So maybe one of the strategies to up-level your sins, maybe. This is a great strategy. Grab your note-taking device, peeps. I just realized.
I did say it. I did say it already. Yeah, I did.
So here's a goodie, and as I forget it, is actually, what was I saying? Oh my God, I've just literally forgotten what I was saying.
About coming out of your head and into your heart.
That's right.
There you go.
Right, I went on a whole tangent then. Yeah. When you can make those, so when you're going to make a decision, is this my heart space or is this my head space?
Yeah.
It allows you just to go, okay, where is it? And one of Moira's favorite sayings, or my favorite saying I've taken from Moira, is 3 questions. Is this good for me? Is this good for others? And do I want to do it?
Yep.
Now, the truth is, if you're having to use those 3 questions, you're already in a hesitant space anyway. Because when your heart makes the decision, I'm doing this, it just feels right. There's no kickback. There's no nothing. You just feel worthy of that decision, and that's where I'm going. And that's truthfully where we want. But if we can go for is this good for me? Is this good for others? And do I want to do it? But they have to be a heck yes. All a woo. Yep. No hesitation. Done. I'm in.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's a
But I'm glad you brought those 3 questions in, because that's actually claiming a level of self-worth also, is I am worthy of just checking in. And because I also think that check-in is a beautiful pause to just drop into your heart space. Is this good for me? Is this good for them? And do I want to? That's it.
Yeah. But that just alone stops a marathon of running.
Yeah.
Because a marathon of running goes, oh, I don't know about this one, and next thing you're on the whole rattling train that's about to derail, and you're holding on.
Exactly. That's when I say that's the crazy making thinking. And you know what?
Yeah.
The crazy making thinking is always going to drive you crazy. When we up-level our self-worth, we realize we don't have to believe all the stuff that's going on in our head. We can just say, oh, you know what? That's BS. Oh, that's belief system. That's my BS running the show, and I don't want it anymore. And just put it down. I'm going to assess using these questions and come from my heart.
Yeah. It just shuts the chaos down, if I could say it. Calms your farm. Just okay, I've got it. Okay, I've got it. Now that makes sense. Yeah.
The next tip that I have 2 tips. So the next one is that I want to say trust. When we have self-worth, we trust that even if things are going a bit discombobulated, or there's a bit of a wobble, or things are kind of going a wee bit differently than you thought, trust, because your self-worth is still intact and you are worthy of finding your best rhythm, your best weight, because sometimes we're in situations which are not for us to unpack or deal with. So then we can come into what's mine to deal with and what's mine to let go, and maybe a surrender. So trust. I always have the guidance, or the right step. It makes itself known as I shift forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And trust is such a vital one. And trust doesn't have to be heavy.
No.
Trust can be, oh, I've been through things before and I can do it again.
Yep.
That's as simple as it can be. It's just, okay, I've been through stuff before and here I am again. Yep, okay.
I've got this.
Yep, just reminding it. Yeah, even that's a beautiful thing. Strategies to up-level your self-worth. Hand on heart. I know I skimmed over that before. Hand on heart. That was when I was talking about no matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love. But when you put your hand in your heart, I've got this.
Yep.
I've got this. Or I'll have that. I'll have that. I'll take that one on. I'll do that. So you're not veering away from things. You're actually putting your feet in the involvement. You're like, I'm going for it. I'm going.
Yep.
I'm here. I'm not
Yep.
going to shy away. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going all for whatever it looks like.
Mm.
But it just allows you to um just that's that word wholesome again.
This is Deb's new favorite word.
No, who would have thought wholesome? If you told me last year wholesome would be my new word, I'd be like, what? What?
I love it. I love
Better
it.
than boundaries. But it feels wholesome. Just feels
And
wholesome.
I like that. And you're right. It's hand on your heart. And I've got this. The other one that's one of my favorites is all is well in my world.
That is so simple, but yet can be so discombobulated for people.
To say all is well in my world?
Yeah, all is well. Oh, I can't say that. Well, it
Why
is.
not? Why not? All is well in my world.
Yeah.
And because this is where I'm coming from with that all is well in my world is that which I want to see in the external world starts inner.
Yeah.
So I cultivate a sense of all is well in my world, but that's my inner landscape. And I can ripple that out into the energy bubble that we're all connected with.
You can't say this stuff and without your body having a physical reaction that takes on that level of beautifulness.
Yep.
You can't say all is well in my world if it's not, even if if like, and your body can't physically say it.
That's right.
So you're actually telling yourself all is well in my world, and your body is going to respond to you. You can't, if you're literally, the body's just telling you, yeah, it is. We've got your
Mhm.
back. Got you.
Mhm.
Got you. We'll get you through this. But you can't BS yourself, believe system yourself.
Well, sometimes what happens in my experience with that all is well in my world is that my nervous system may be off. Like I might be stressed out about something, or
Yeah.
there's a disturbance in the force, or I might be experiencing some form of discombobulation. But if I take my hand and put my hand on my heart and take a deep breath and say all is well in my world, I soothe my own nervous system immediately. And then it's almost like my subconscious kind of goes, oh, it is all well. Everything is okay. I'm safe. I'm grounded. I'm good. All is well in my world.
So I want everyone now just to take a moment and just say it.
Yeah.
Everyone just take a moment. I'm just gonna
Yes.
hand on
Go.
heart and just say all is well in my
All
world.
is well in my world. And you have to say it with either my accent or Deb's accent.
I don't have an accent. Yeah. All is well. I can't even say it.
All is well in my world. And take and even smile as you're saying it.
But it's wholesome. Oh, is that blooming word?
There she is again with her wholesome. Well,
Uh-oh.
when you up level your self-worth, you are being wholesome.
You can't, yeah. It does. But tell me, people, did you actually have that? Let us know. Did you actually have that beautifulful feel inside, or did you go, this is a crock of whatever?
I'm
Because
not
either way,
doing what she
you
says
tell
to
me.
me.
You don't do what she says. Well, guess what? You are. But you can't you can't crap out your like you can't bullshit your you can't joke your system. Your system believes all is well in my world.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the whole point of it. It's
Yeah.
just it's such a beautiful one. When
I used to
before
lean in, lean in, lean in, lean in, lean in.
Yes. So the I said that I had two kind of dropped in really quickly, one after the other, but we
Yeah.
actually inserted a few in there. But my other one, when I was thinking of, I said trust, and then the other one is curiosity. And this is something that's come
Oh
up
yeah.
numerous times just in this past week in client conversations, is how can you cultivate a sense of curiosity? Curiosity to me has a sense of play, of kind of like, ooh, what
Ooh
am I
la
going to
la.
discover over here? And what if I use this affirmation? Or if I choose to say, all is well in my world, or I try out a new routine,
Yeah.
or plan my day. See, you are worthy of being the observed and the observer, but it's from that perspective of curiousness.
Mm.
of like, I just really like that word. You're saying wholesome, I'm saying curiosity.
But I love the curiosity because it's, when I think about that hand on heart and all is well in my world, I put beside it lean in, like
Yeah.
don't avoid it, lean in, lean in. But even that curiosity, you're leaning in. You're like,
Yes.
okay, but when you can label it curiosity instead of, oh my God, this is so heavy, it's already
Yes.
different. It already has a different flow to it.
Yes. And because like I said, there's a lift. I mean, even as I'm saying that, I can feel the lift in my,
You can't trick the system. The system is you, by the way, it's your body, but you can't trick the system.
yeah. But you're also saying everything is for me.
Mm,
Nothing's against me. That's trust. Curiosity and trust, that they weave nicely together?
they do. They have a beautifulness to it.
Hmm.
It's a beautifulness to it. Um, well, the next thing I was thinking about was with your strategies to up level your self worth is um write down what's in your head.
Yeah, brain dump time.
Your brain dump time. And that is everything. Your problems, your solutions, your tasks that require doing, your relationships, your like write everything down and look at what can you control.
Nice one. Absolutely.
Literally just go straight to strategy because when you get it all down, you're like, oh my God, I've got 20 pages of problems. I don't like this and I don't like this and I don't like this. And then you can look at each individual, just get it all out. Truth is, get it all out because then you've got a clean slate you can look at. And then just go, what can I control? Okay, my partner does this, this, and this. I don't like that. Can I control that? No.
Not really.
Yeah, good luck
I
with
can
some
tell
things.
them I don't like it, but I can't control whether they do or do not do it, right?
Yep. And who's going to get more frustrated, me or them? So
Yeah.
that so if you can't control it. If you can't control it, reach out to
Let.
Deborah and Moira.
Yep.
We'll help you put that glitch, that wobble in your heart. But what can you control? And it just allows you to go, okay, well, there's 50 things on this list, and there's only 10 things I can actually control. The others are weather, the universe, technology, other people, and then you go, okay, so there's actually only 10 things I have to deal with, not 50.
Right.
And it just gets you back to your heart of that's all it is. And I think that's really important of brain dumping it and then going but that's everything, brain dump everything. And then looking at what can I control?
I love that. I love that because I had to look
What are
something
you
up.
up to?
Well, I had to look up something because I'm doing this really awesome inner gameplay at the moment. And what's happening is I get sent an image and I have to contemplate it and then give it a title, a theme, and just basically riff on what it's landed
Oh
for me.
wow. Okay.
And I actually got I got some feedback from the people that are running this game to say how powerful this was. So the image, I called it sanctuary,
Oh.
and the theme I said was softness. But and you're gonna like this because it's all about trust. Trust allows me to recognize the safe space within. This also allows me to act upon what is mine and softly release that which is not.
Oh.
It's exactly what you were just talking about.
That's it,
So
isn't it?
if you can adopt that type of
Mm,
mindset, so you do your brain dump, you write everything down,
yeah.
and then you trust and you recognize the safe space, the powerful creator being that is you, so that you can recognize and act upon what's yours.
Yeah.
And I just like the softness, right? The
I love
softly
that word
release.
softness. Yeah.
Yeah, softly release that which is not. It doesn't have to be like, well, that's not mine, so to hell with it, and that's yours. And no,
Yeah.
it's not hard. There's no harshness here. Up leveling your self-worth needs to feel like a love blanket, like a softness, like a something that you aspire to, but it's also a sense of coming home to it, right?
Mm.
Because
It
it's
is.
actually already there.
Yeah. Just reminding yourself. It's
Yeah.
just reminding yourself. And I also want to I would like to, if you're looking to up-level your self-worth, one of the sexiest things you can do, and I'm going to say the sexiest things you can do, is be accountable.
Mm,
Because there is nothing more, and I say sexy, I don't know why I say sexy, but there's nothing more sexy than somebody owning up and going, you know what? I'm the 100%. I'm the reason this happened. I accept full
right.
responsibility. Actually, you know what? I can see how I said something that triggered this off to them. There's no blame needed. I can take full responsibility. They can take their own responsibility if they want, but I'm not attached to their responsibility. So you take full 100% accountability to your emotions and actions. When somebody says something and you react funnily, not funny,
Funnily.
funnily, like you add whatever you want to put in, be responsible for that. Just take all responsibility. And it allows you actually to function in life, and your self-worth is already raised because you're just going, you know what? That's theirs. This is mine. I take full responsibility. Yeah, I can see it. And then you've got that curiosity and that lean in and
Yeah,
let's look at
yeah,
what it really
yeah,
means. But you're not avoiding it is my
yeah.
thing. So
I like that. You know that responsibility is one of my favorite words too.
of
That
course it is.
well, because you know how I like to say that it's an honor, it's a right, it's a privilege,
Yeah.
because it's us claiming our ability to respond. So
Yeah.
to your point, we're saying up-leveling your self-worth says, yep, I take ownership for
Yeah.
this, and not trying to diminish it or fob it off, or no, we the more we take ownership and authorship, if you like, the easier life flows.
Well, you look at anyone, if you let's go to the extreme of somebody who, what does it look like to have low self-worth?
Hmm.
Not wanting to get out of bed. Like if I go the extreme, not wanting to get out of bed, doubting it as my existence is there. Like there's a whole lot of levels, which I'm not even going to go down that path because I don't, everybody knows their own individual thoughts of that. But the moment you actually go, you know what? I can't play victim anymore. I've got to be
Mhm.
responsible. If someone's got to, what do they say? If it's meant to be, it's got to be me, or I don't know, there's some saying or something. If it's, I don't know. Deborah trying to quote or something, a quote that she doesn't even know. But the truth is, if your self-worth is low, you'll put yourself in that situation because other people have gone through stuff as well and they've got themselves out. So the moment you take that responsibility and accountability, your self-worth will rise.
Yeah,
Even if you don't, like, I can guarantee that what happened when you take accountability, whether you want it or not, whether you want to or not, but the moment you step out of victim into victory,
yeah,
you've already, yeah, victim into victory. There's a new one. Someone's
I
probably got it.
like that.
Yeah.
Step from victim into victory.
That could be a podcast, but that's actually a great title because that's so true. But the moment you claim your victory, your level of self-worth has already changed.
100%. But it's really claiming and recognizing that life is happening through us and for us and by design, by our creation. Because when we get into victim mode, we're not playing with what's possible for us.
Mm.
We're saying, oh, it's it's being thrown at me. There's all this stuff. Where's that saying that says the world is going to hell in a handbasket? That's a saying.
Is
You
it?
know, yeah, that is a saying. And it's like, okay, I
That's
went and
always
said,
how that's
isn't that horrible?
that's a horrible thing going into that. Well, great.
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
So the thing is that this is the other part too around self-worth, is that there is trauma and turmoil and chaos and discombobulation. It's there. But I don't know about you, but I don't really want to feed it or fuel it.
I don't want to
I don't want to expand it.
I'm not avoiding it. I'm
Yes,
definitely not
exactly.
avoiding it. So this is definitely lean in. I'm not avoiding it, but it doesn't have to be part of my world.
Exactly.
I can choose when I want to throw that into my pool of problems.
Well,
At
you
the
might
moment.
use it. You might use it to illustrate a point or to acknowledge something.
Yeah.
But you're not going to keep going, oh my God, but then what about this? And what about this? And what about this? Because you're actually adding fuel to
Yeah.
that which you do not want to see more of.
Yeah.
When we have up-level our self-worth, we are worthy of love and connection and trust and acknowledgement and triumph,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And it's and when you're in that flow, it's effortless. Just see me, I'm grinning from ear to ear. People just see you like, righto, roll your own eyes.
Effortless ease creates harmony.
Ooh.
There's
Ooh,
another title.
there's yeah. Okay. I think yes.
But it does. And that, I think again this comes back to, you brought into our conversation about really looking at what does it look like to have very low self-worth or no self-worth. I don't know about you, but something that I've witnessed is there's a lot of anger.
Mm.
There's a lot of anger because they can sort of see it's like, "But there's, I don't have any worthiness because look at they've taken all the quotient of self-worthiness." And so there is there's anger and there's victimhood and there's looking outward, looking for the answers externally without realizing that self-worth is also an inside job.
Mm.
And it's there, it's your birthright, you have it. It's
Mm.
not something that somebody gives to you, right?
No, it's something you've molded and created, because you can have two different children with the same parents and one goes left and one goes right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still perfect in their own way. That some just don't want to be like the sister or brother. I
Yeah.
mean, there's myself who loves to travel, and my sister's married to an international pilot and doesn't like traveling. So I laugh.
That's
But
funny.
we literally, I know, complete opposites, but we came from the same family. So I think recognizing that, recognize that you don't have to be like everyone else. So I guess that's that comparison. You don't have to be like anyone else. You are you, and your self-worth is based around your actions and decisions. So look at yourself, stop looking at other people,
Mm-hmm.
because comparison's an ass. But I will also say, the other tip I want to say, apart from that, is look at your inner circle. Who do you have in that inner circle? Because that inner circle are the ones that feed you the information. They up level you. They're the ones who plug you. They're the ones who support you. They're the ones who challenge you. They're the ones who just, they have your back
Mm-hmm.
in whatever way. So watch who you're comparing to, but also have a look at your inner circle. Are they the right people in there? And I can tell you right now, one of the people in my inner circle is solid, that I can ask her anything and she can give me advice, and that is Moira. Moira's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But Moira and Deb, put us in your inner circle. We are here. We can give
Definitely.
you solid advice that you can do, that's achievable, and it's not as challenging as what you think. Well, not as challenging, it's not challenging when you've got us backing you. So look at your comparisons to people, but also look at your inner circle and put Moira and I in there, because we are just a
We're
message
here
away.
for you because we're here for you. And
Yeah.
that is our life's work, is to help people really, really claim and open up to their own potential, their own
Mm.
possibility, and really come into a sense of ease and flow with it, rather than striving and hustling and pushing and forcing and
Yeah.
getting caught up in all the mundane have-tos.
Yeah.
They're
Because then you get
there, but we can
great
reframe
insight.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been through it. And let me assure you, what you think you're going to present the worst problem you've ever experienced in your life, please. This is not a challenge for you, but this is just letting you know we have seen and heard some horrific stuff that
Certainly
people would say
have.
horrific, but we've held the beautiful space and got people through that. So don't underestimate us too. And plus, we've got the world covered. Me during the day, Moira during night, or
Yep.
Moira during the day, me during night. So we've got it
Yeah, we
covered. 24.
got you covered. There's always somebody here. But you're right. It's the thing is going back to this thing about comparison is actually I had made a wee note about it is that when we compare ourselves to other people, it's actually a betrayal of your own self, right? Because if you're comparing what you perceive somebody else has achieved or overcome or how they're doing it, you're looking at their outer projection and you're comparing it to what you already know. Only you know your inner landscape.
Yeah.
And so that's such an unfair comparison because you don't actually know what they might be hiding from you, what they may have come through in order to get to where they are.
No, and when you just said, I just was thinking then about on Facebook, you know how they do those reels, REEL, and they do that, and they don't show the bloopers. So
Yeah, that's
people
right. You're
to
seeing
know
the
that.
highlight reel.
Yeah, totally. You see the highlight reel, but you don't actually see what they did to get to that point.
That's right.
And it's only one-sided when you do see it, because if you ask one person, what did you do to get to this point, and then ask their children, or then
Yeah,
ask their partners, or then ask their best friends, they will all have a different story of what they did to get to that point as well.
right.
So be aware what other people say or do with theirs.
Yeah, and like I said, don't you know, because I as you're saying that, I'm thinking about when people might ask me, how did you achieve? Like we've both talked about doing videos. So somebody
Mm.
might ask me, how did you get so comfortable about doing videos? And I'll say, oh, it was really easy. I did this, 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 and this. But I haven't shared with them. It took me years to get to this place, or I don't share because it's not real to me anymore. And so if you're asking and comparing yourself, I mean, that's a silly example, but do you know what I mean? It's like when we go through the work, do the work, we don't sit and focus on every pain point or every stumble or every time we
Yeah.
stubbed our toe or tripped or fell or had to start all over again, right?
Just when you're saying that, we do forget, because just when you said, how do you do videos? You're like, you just do it. You turn up, you do it. But I can tell you the first time I did a Facebook Live, I had a guest come on for 35 minutes. I told people, I said, just bear with me, bear with me,
Oh,
bear with my word. I could not get the guest on for 35 minutes. Can you imagine? That was my very first Facebook Live. Now, I have taken it off my YouTube because I did have it on my YouTube for people to laugh at. But it literally, I went, I'm going to do this. I know what I'm doing. I've got this sorted. And I showed up, and oh my God, it was a journey and a half. Now I can tell you now, my self-worth was lower than the ground. I was so embarrassed. Got people on, my guests that I'd paid, all of those things. And it was 35 minutes of me just going, just bear with me, people. Bear with me. We're trying to do this. And then I'd fill in the gaps with inappropriate jokes. It was the worst thing ever. And no, I'm not going to share it with you people, just for
just
shits and giggles. No, you're not
yes,
getting.
no,
But I can tell you my self-worth was low.
right,
And then I just went, okay, practice. It just means you weren't practiced. Didn't mean you were prepared. I went into strategy mode. And my next one, they were like, oh my God, Deborah, this is amazing.
right,
And that's because I over delivered, I think, probably. But at the end of the day, my self-worth was so low. And I just was like, just bear with me, people. I had no idea what I was doing on the computer.
right,
No idea. It's a
right,
live video. The worst nightmare. That was my worst nightmare at that time. And I got through it. And now I show up every Friday and do my Facebook lives every week, and I do courses, and I don't think anything of it. So
right.
it's just a story that we've attached to. I
Yeah.
think but you don't have to be attached to that story. We can
No,
let it go
no, and
anytime.
that's you're just proving my point completely because if somebody says to you now in current day, oh, you do these videos, you just say, yeah, I just do it. But you don't always bring out that story that you just shared because why
I
would
forgot
you?
about that.
Why
I
would you?
forgot. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. I completely forgot about that story because it's not attached to me. But if I put myself in their shoes, they're like, how do you do it? You're so easy on camera. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, by the way, when I used to start, I used to put a post-it note across my face on the camera because I'd sit and I go, my hair's not right. And when you go to put your fingers behind your head, you do the wrong ear and then your whole hand. And like, there was a lot of things. So I just did what I could do to get through. We do all that. We do.
Yep.
So just forgetting that story when you've done it, you just let it go.
Yep.
But in saying that, everybody, we otherwise we will just keep talking forever.
Yep.
But our strategies to up level your self-worth. Grab yourself a pen and paper if you didn't get it at the start, because we are ready to hit and we are going to condense these. And then I'm going to throw another one. I'll say this to Moira. Then we might just squeeze in another one at the end, Moira.
Okay.
We just don't know yet. So, strategies to up level your self-worth. Do you want to start, Moira?
Sure. I started us off actually by suggesting to everybody, I do this myself, to do some form of the exercise we start our episodes with about grounding yourself, feeling connected to the earth, feeling connected to your heart, and just come into that. It's actually reminding yourself that you are worthy of just taking a wee moment to get centered, to get grounded, to get present.
Yeah.
Such an important thing to do. And if you ever need, like whenever you need to overcome a challenge or make a decision, do something like that. It's very
There's
powerful.
always enough time in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that my head went, oh, there's not enough time in the day to do that. It's 2 minutes. It's a minute. It's 30 seconds. It's the most important setting up your intention
Yep.
of your day. Okay, I'll stop.
Yep.
Stop.
Yep.
Just do it, people. End of. The next one I have here is your self-worth is a trigger word.
Yeah.
And I saw Moira's face when I said it at the start was just like, okay, here we go.
Here we
And
go.
my thing is, if you spot it, you got it. And if you have a problem with that word, it's definitely something. So these tips are going to be totally for you.
That, and then so my next one was to remember, and it actually came straight off of you saying it was a trigger word, is that to remember it's not something you have to earn. Self-worth is not something you have to earn or you work up to.
Sad one. That makes me sad. I think about people go, you've got to earn it. It's like, oh, no, you don't, honey. That just that makes me sad that people feel that. But that's why we're doing the podcast.
Yep.
No.
That is why we're doing it.
No matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love. And that's Dr. John DeMartini saying, and I love that.
Me
and
too.
I know we threw out quite a few of this here, but I said with that there, I just even suggested putting your hand on heart and saying it aloud.
Yeah.
No matter what I've done or not done, I'm worthy of love, because it sinks in and it gets you into your heart, and it just reminds you that self-worth is just a word.
Self-worth, just a word. But it also, when we do that, put your hand on your heart. The tip that I put following that was that it gives you freedom to follow your dreams. So when you really get into that, no matter what I've done or not done, I'm worthy of love. And then we sit and start to allow ourselves to be guided forward with our own potential, with our dreams. And you can even, with the head and heart, dropping out of your head into your heart, and ask yourself those 3 questions. My favorite questions. I have lots of favorite questions, but this
mine are all post-it notes on my computer, all the way around. Yeah.
So just if you do have a decision to make, you can ask yourself, is this good for me? Yes or no? Is this good for them? Yes or no? And do I want to? Yes or no? The thing is all 3 of them have to be a hell yes for you to go and do it. If any of them are kind of a, not sure, or maybe I'll have to think about that, contemplate that, that's a no. All of those are no. Right?
Yeah.
And that's claiming worthiness.
But it can be quick. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn out process.
Yep.
The next strategy I have here is trust. Trust. And trust is an inside job. So when you can trust yourself, trust others, trust the bigger picture, reminding yourself you've been through things before.
Mhm.
When you trust, that literally levels up your self-worth. It is that quick.
Yep. Yep. And on the heels of that trust one, that's when we said things like using statements like, I've got this. Put your hand on your heart. I've got this. Or put your hand on your heart, and Deb made you do this. All is well in my world. Lean
Yeah.
into this. All is well in my world. And remember, don't let your chattering mind go, oh, but look at all the chaos and suffering, the pain.
Oh,
No,
but.
your world, your inner world. We
Yeah.
can create an evolution of peaceful kindness, loving connection by owning our responsibility is our inner world. So all is well in my world.
Yeah.
Such an important piece.
I love
Up-leveling.
that. I love that when Moira said that, who actually said it aloud? I put my hand up. Who actually said it aloud when Moira said that? I went, oh, I know what she's going to say. All is well in my world. The next one to up-level your self-worth is curiosity.
Mhm.
Be curious. Be curious about what's going on. What's the bigger picture here? Like, oh, yay, I've got something to, it's the old celebrate. I've got something to work on here. Just be curious. And when you have a curious brain, it unravels differently instead of being a investigator. You're just
Right.
curious. You're just like, okay, it's not a heavy thing. I'm just going to be curious and have a little poke around with this.
But it allows you to get in touch with your intuition too. Like, oh, it's like the answers that you're looking for are looking for you too, but from a curiosity perspective, they land easier.
And then you're left with, well, no wonder this makes sense. No wonder this is
Yes.
what's happening because like it's the old no wonder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one I have is one of my favorites. Write down what's on in your head. This is when Deb talked about this as brain dump. So
Yeah.
write down everything. What's just stressing you out, what you've got to do, what you don't want to do, everything. And then review it and see what can you control? What is yours to deal with, to process, and what's not? And release that which is not for you to deal with. Because I don't know about you, but stuff can go in my head that, oh my God, I have to do this and have to, but it's not mine.
Yeah. I'm dealing with some of that in my own and I'm like, this is not mine.
Yeah.
Nah, this is all yours. This is all yours, honey.
Yep.
I've got my own dump truck of things in there that's driving around behind me. I don't
So
need your
not
dump
taking
truck.
yours.
No, yours can park in your driveway away from me. Yeah, totally.
Yep.
But when I know Moira put this down and I put this under that tip was when you're brain dumping, recognize this, there's a safe space for this.
Yes.
Yeah, and it has there's that word softness, but it has a safe space, and that just allows us to go back to that trust again as well. The next thing I wrote down sexy, and then I was like, what? And then I looked closely because I'm good tip, Deborah, sexy. Yep, that's your tip to up level your self-worth, whatever that looks like. So what is sexy is be sexy, is take responsibility.
Yeah.
Claim your ability to respond. Claim your ability, just respond. Be responsible for what's gone on in your world, what's gone on around you. And I'm also talking about the government. I'm also talking about the banks. I'm also talking about all that stuff. What's your responsible role in that?
Yep.
So take that responsibility. And the moment you can take that, you already have leveled up your self-worth. Which took us into the next one, which was sort of pretty much the same one as well. But I'm going to do it is when you become no longer a victim, you become victorious. And what I've written down here, just for the record, I've got a couple of podcast titles, is when it's effortless, ease. When it's effortless, ease creates harmony.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's when Moira said it.
I said that. Yeah.
And it just makes you go, yeah, you're right. Yeah. And if it's forced, it's not harmony, it's chaos. So let's look at what's flowing.
Yeah. But that's when we were talking about the lack of self-worth can feel like victimhood, but also anger, right? Anger at ourselves, anger at the other people. Look what they've got better than me. And that, so this was the piece where I said that it's so important to release any propensity of comparison. And that I also said that comparison is a betrayal of yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you're comparing the highlight reel of somebody else's experience to your inner turmoil and mindset and beliefs and things of that nature, you're not comparing apples to apples. And that's why I say it's such an important piece to really, self-worth says, I am worthy, I am whole, I am exactly in the right place at the right time and have the right choices. And now I'm going to focus on what is mine to deal with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. Comparison is an ick place to be when you're on that journey. But what I also like, one of the tips we had here was about your inner circle. Look at who you have in that inner circle. Who are those people who judge you to wake you up? Who are those people who support you and tell you you're doing right? And let's have a look at another way. They're actually there to challenge you enough. Your inner circle, you want people to challenge you and not just agree with everything. Yes, I did say that. That inner circle, you want people to challenge you or just to even open your eyes. Maybe we'll reword that, not challenge you.
Yeah.
Open your eyes to possibilities. And that just allows you to go, my inner circle is safe.
Yeah.
And when we've got that safe inner circle, I would like to make sure that you have Deborah and Moira's face and voice poked into that inner circle, because that's where you're going to get another level of evolution for your self-worth as well. That we are here for you. We've been through it. We've heard every story possible. I can share, well, I'm not going to, but I mean, I could share stories that you would just go, crikey, mine's nothing compared to that. We are here with what do we say, over 80 years collectively?
Yeah, we did. That's crazy. Actually, that's kind of freaky, but
I know. So your inner circle, look at who you have in your inner circle and just make sure you put Deborah and Moira in there.
most definitely. Most definitely. I only have one more here, but what I was saying was, this is when we were talking about being wary of when you speak to somebody about how did you get to there, and that's when I was saying about being on video. Is that if somebody asked me how did I achieve any of the accomplishments that I have, or the certifications, or the insight timer following, I'm not going to remember all of the different hurdles and missteps and, oh, whoops, I have to start all over again. I'm just going to say, just do this. And Deb summed it up beautifully. It was like, we were saying, get on video, and you're like, just do it. But then you shared a really awesome story about how, and there's a lot, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know that, but why would you tell them that? It's like, no, just
an
do
old
it.
story. It's an old
story. Yeah.
And I completely forgot about it, but I do know, and if you really want to do Facebook Lives, people, this is how you do it. You create a group and you go live in that group, and you have that group hidden so it's just you. So you start practicing. There we go.
There you go. There you go. There's your tip. There's your tip.
Or you just show up and you do it. But you do it in a group that no one's invited to, and you practice and you look and you go, okay, now I want to be sitting this way, and like critique yourself. Go to your inner circle.
Also remember, you can laugh at yourself too. Just go,
yeah.
okay, I've just been taking myself way too freaking seriously anyway.
Yeah. And if I could show you that one that I had, you'd just go, oh God, crikey, there's hope for me yet. But remembering, and that's where we write down the real highlight over the bloopers. We don't know what other people have gone through to get to that. And I know I said to Moira I'm going to throw it to her, but I'm just going to add one more on here. And this is a key component to up-level your self-worth. And I'll giggle if Moira's written the same. It's a G word, and it's called gratitude.
But of course,
because if you're looking at your self-worth, be thankful for what you have, not for what you don't have. Because when you can focus on what you have, and that's the support around you, it's the people, it's the environment, it's when you can focus on those things, even if you feel they're not everything, you get more opportunities come when you're truly thankful and you're sitting in that gratitude and appreciation state. So be thankful for what you have over what you don't have. Changes your self-worth.
I absolutely love that, because I had not written down gratitude, but I did grab one of my tea bag quotes, which I love to do. I love the yogi tea bags. And so Let me read this one out for you because you're going to
Okay.
laugh. Give thanks for unknown blessings that are already on the way. But of
So-
course.
So of course, unknown blessings that are already. What a beautiful way. So that's be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for what's coming in. Be
Yeah.
thankful for what's leaving. This is just another level of gratitude of the full 360 around you.
Yes.
Crikey,
I love
Mike.
that.
Crikey, Mike. You don't know who Mike is. Strategies to up-level your self-worth. What a phenomenal podcast. I trust everybody got some insights of that because I got some great insights for me
too.
personally.
I love
And
this.
which will help with a couple of clients that I've got going on for some stuff. So this is beautiful, just a beautiful reminder of our self-worth as our own self-worth.
Mhm.
So as we wrap up today, I want to thank everyone for showing up and listening all the way through and getting your note-taking devices and writing those tips down. But it's my favorite question that seems to be of me. Are you playing life to the way you want to play it? Because if you're not, this is up to you to change things. So I encourage you to let us know today what tip you're really going to dig in on, lean in on, or what tip is going to give you the best solution that's going on for you right now. It may not be the fastest solution, it may be the fastest, I don't know, but whatever tip landed with you that you just have now embedded into your head and your heart, let us know, because we'd love to know what one you love the most, because there's some golden nuggets in there.
Definitely.
So let us know what you're going to do from today, because we're nosy. We want to.
We want to know. Yeah, we want to hear from you.
That's all there is to it. Yeah, please. But I want to thank you for showing up today, because our strategies to up-level your self-worth are about you, and it's taking accountability back to you. And if you're looking to take in your own, level up your own self-worth and what others think of you, actually, this is a great tip. Don't worry about what others think of you.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Definitely.
Quick, throw that one in there. Don't worry about what others think about you, because
Yep.
that's their stuff.
That's their stuff, not yours.
But let's raise your self-worth. Let's up-level your self-worth. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to the internet. Thank you, Moira.
Thank you,
And
Deb.
thanks for this super cute title, Strategies to Up-Level Your Self-Worth, on our deliciously motivated mindset conversation /
Love it. Love it.
Thank you,
Awesome.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.